Australia will have the number of international arrivals it accepts after COVID outbreaks put half the population in lockdown this week. The country's strict border rules have only allowed Australians and people with exemptions to enter. From 14th July, Australia will accept just over 3,000 people a week, a measure likely to last until next year. The announcement sparked dismay among Australians who are overseas and separated from their families. But Prime Minister Scott Morrison said the measure would reduce pressure on the country's quarantine system. Virus leaks from hotel quarantine, which is mandatory for all arrivals, have been the source of numerous outbreaks across the country. Australia is maintaining a COVID elimination strategy until it can get the majority of its population vaccinated next year. Just 8% have been vaccinated so far. Mr. Morrison's government has faced criticism for its border policies over the past year, which have extended family separations and made it difficult for many Australians to return. In April, the government also temporarily blocked its citizens in India from returning during the height of a deadly wave in the South Asian nation. About 37,000 Australians remain stranded overseas. To mitigate some of the cuts, Mr. Morrison said the number of repatriation flights for Australians wanting to fly home would be increased. Australia will also begin trialing home quarantine arrangements for vaccinated travelers. Mr. Morrison said arrival limits would not be lifted again until most Australians get vaccinated, a goal that will not be achieved until next year due to the country's limited supply of jabs. If you're an Australian stranded overseas, this is not the news you want to wake up to. From the middle of July, the already complicated journey for thousands trying to get home will get more difficult. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I've heard from so many people about small fortunes spent on plane tickets only for travel plans to be thrown off course because of increased restrictions or changes on international arrival numbers. There's already been reaction online, with some angry and others confused about what this announcement means for them. In the past few months, many have also criticized the government for granting exemptions to celebrities and athletes to enter the country, while others are forced to wait to see their loved ones. While Australia's policy of border closure has allowed it to control the spread of COVID-19, critics have asked how sustainable this situation is and how long it can go on for. "We've been lucky to date and complacent because we've been isolated," one man told me in Sydney's near-empty downtown as the city prepares for its second week of lockdown. These may have played a part, but the lack of a consistent government campaign around vaccination, the problems with the supply of Pfizer jabs, and the mixed messaging around the AstraZeneca vaccine have all made for a slow and confusing rollout. You could sense a change in the Prime Minister's tone today, indicating strongly that the way to any kind of normality would be through vaccinations. It's a change that many would say has come a little too late.